I'm on my dirt bike, riding on my dirt bike, going too fast and I'm coming run the curb like.
Yo, welcome back guys, it's Texas Pete, and actually now I am Texas Pete 21 for those who haven't noticed. I'm going to be changing my number. If you're wondering, I may release that information soon. It's not really that big of a secret or anything. We used to be 97, now I'll be 21 pretty soon here on the bike. Haven't really got any graphics yet, all stock. But let's get right into this video. We are in section 4 at the 46th annual Sandlapper Enduro in Sally, South Carolina, also known as Pellion. Some people, some of the Southerners, South Carolina boys like to call it Pellion at least. But starting pretty strong here. This is, I would say, maybe 80% through the race already of a hot day. It was in the 80s, and I was taking my chest protector off later on because it was getting warm. Just trying to stay as cool as possible, drinking a lot of water. And it's getting pretty tight in here. So we're on row 61 on the day, and there was only about maybe 70 something, 75 rows that I want to say I can remember there being. Pretty far back. Trail was really good actually. Conditions perfect, a little bit dry, but can't complain. I wasn't really getting dusted out or anything. You can see the dirt's got some moisture in it, and a little bit of traffic back here. 61, you'll see a lot of guys out here on the trail. Some slower guys, but no worries. We make some quick work of them. I think right here, maybe. Yep. Just finding a way around. So I had a great time. I have my dad and my brother. Shout out Brian and Ray out here. Ray was on the row ahead of me, row 60, and my dad was on 62, so a nice little spread. So all day trying to catch up to Ray on the beta. You'll see him here in the video later on a little bit, a few minutes in. So like I said, section 4 here. Unfortunately, something happened to Landner and overshooting a turn there. Don't do like me. Something happened and they had to cut out a section. Usually Enduro, for most of you guys that know about the Enduros, there's going to be 6 sections, only 5 today. So the second to last section here had the race cut a little bit short, but it's all good. I can't complain because I didn't really want to ride much more than what I did. just weaving through pretty good. The camera makes it look easy. There is definitely some rough stuff, some good chop in here, some whoops here and there. It's made for some technical riding and some real tight trees. You'll see a couple spots in this video where things get a little bit hairy. And I'm running the 2019 YZ250F. Trying to keep the camera clean for you guys. Thing is, I don't really know if it had anything on it while I was racing, so I was just wiping it here and there, but I'm pretty sure it stayed clean the whole time. I wasn't getting roosted a whole lot. And pulled a couple tear-offs. Looks like somebody blew the turn right there, but letting me know where to go. I appreciate it, whoever that was. Following the orange arrows on the trees. Some of these arrows were pretty faded. Some older arrows. But it was easy to follow the trail for the most part. I definitely did miss some good lines that could have saved me some time. I won't complain though. I ended up doing really well in my class. I will talk about the results later on in the video, so stick around to find out how I did. It's kind of funny, the Enduros, you don't really know how you're doing until the end of the day. That's one thing about it. So you're just kind of out there by yourself against the clock, and you'll get to see how you stack up after everything is done. And you have to wait a little bit, after you finish, and get all your stuff packed up, you get to wait a little bit and see how you did. If it's a national race, you can always keep posted online, look on your phone and stuff. It stays updated live. But this is old school right here. This is a local Se&Tra Enduro. Shout out to the Se&Tra Enduro series. Some of the best racing that you can do in the Southeast. I mean, just look at this trail. Some of my favorite types of trails that can be ridden on a dirt bike, honestly. A lot of good flow. And there's just a certain type of feeling that you get from this type of riding compared to motocross or, a wide open four-wheeler trail. It's just completely different. A lot of the same skills crossover, but this takes something special to go faster here. A lot of practice that goes into it. Not me, of course. I don't really do a lot of training or anything, but if you actually want to be pretty good, not saying I'm not. So get into it. I changed a little bit of stuff here. What was I thinking about? The bars. I changed my bars up. I was running some fat bars, if you noticed, from the Sumter National Enduro video that I made from section 5 and 6. I was running fat bars, pro taper fat bars, and these are the twin walls that I used to run. Put them back on. Just trying some different stuff. Was changing a couple clickers throughout the day. Ended up just because I was tight in the beginning, trying to loosen it up a little bit, because it felt like the forks were real stiff and I wasn't absorbing much out here. It was just the trail was a little bit rough here and there. Going through here pretty quick. Some sketchy moments. Nothing too crazy. Didn't really know where to go right there. So you can see, just trying to follow the marked trail, and a couple guys here and there. Some of the rows in front of me, as you catch them, the sections are a good length. They could be anywhere from 5 to maybe even 12 miles, somewhere in there. Can't remember exactly how long this section is, but it only took me about 17 minutes. So this video, I know it's a little bit longer. Just stick with me. I'll be keeping you guys entertained, hopefully. This one's about 17 minutes, and then we got a little brief break, and you start section 5, which is the last section, which is a real good one. I'm going around the outside here, trying to get around this guy. Section 5 is a little bit longer. I filmed both all the way through, so you'll get to enjoy that. And check this out right here. Yeah, that was a little wild. Had me clenching my booty cheeks there for a second. I was a little nervous that I might get stuck in that big mud rat. Thankfully, didn't get stuck. Got my gloves a little wet. And I think that mud hole did get the best of this guy. Some of you might already recognize him. Ripping the 125 with the license plate and the horn and everything on there. My little brother, Ray. Appreciate you letting me by there. About run off the trail, trying to get through those trees. Jumped out of the line that guy was in to try to get around him. And that worked pretty good. Might have lost a little bit of time, but it happens. Take my hand off a lot in the video, drinking water, pulling tear-offs and stuff. Wheelie over the hole there and come around this corner out in the open. Pretty interesting little field section. Somebody pushing their bike, maybe they ran out of gas, who knows. We're gonna jump back out onto the trail here, drop out into the tree line or by the fence. cut across some fields and whatnot. Try to get over to some trails. You see a tree line over here. We'll head that way. Sometimes it's cool to come out of a real fast section and carry your momentum right into the woods. Sometimes a little bit too much momentum. At times you get a little sketchy. These woods are definitely a little more open. We'll get into some tighter stuff here. And you might notice I'm running the open bar end handguards. Some people call them flags. It just, it's not all the way wrapped around. So if you hit something, it's not as protective. But I do pretty good trying not to hit trees. I don't mind running these ones. I kind of like them actually. Don't know why, really, just what I've been doing, and works fine for me. These ones are a little stiffer, so you can actually nick something pretty good, and it won't bother. It won't really hit your fingers or anything. Check them out, made by Moose. I am sponsored by Moose Racing. They got some great products, really quality stuff. So I can tell you right now, stock chain and sprockets on this Yamaha only lasts about 40 hours for me, and I can get a set of Moose chain and sprockets last me over 100 hours. So it's some real good stuff, built well, and good prices. Maybe even get sponsored by them as well. Good gear. I was wearing the Moose gear out here, running the Kenda tires. So got some great companies behind me. A couple other people out there. Shout out to Mark Hilton and Motivations Racing. Some people ask me how I get through these trails so smooth, make it look so easy. A lot of it, I gotta give credit where credit's due. My suspension guy, Mark, over in Hickory, North Carolina, Motivations Racing. Also know a lot of people say MVR. He's got some real good stuff for these forks and shock. I'm running the KYB now on the Yamaha. Just what comes stock, and it's working beautifully for me. I really noticed a big difference in the whoops and everything. At this point, I do need to get them serviced. I could tell that they weren't as plush as normal. Probably getting about a little over 30 hours on the suspension. So if you guys are wanting to have your bike perform really well, make sure you're servicing your suspension somewhere between mid-20s to mid-30s. 30 hours is when it starts breaking down really fast, the oil that is, and you start losing your performance after 20. You really don't want to go more than 40 hours. I've done it before, but I'm more knowledgeable now. So it makes a big difference. I have run, a lot of people like to talk about the Mako clamp on a dirt bike. I am a fan of the Mako. I do not have a Mako currently on the Yamaha. I plan on getting one. But definitely making sure your suspension is on point is more important than a Mako clamp or a lot of other things that people like to get. So we're about 14 minutes in here. This section is getting close to an end. A lot of years, I can tell you right now that this section actually started in this area and then went the other way, but they did reverse it this year, so that was kind of cool. Glad to see that the I think it's the Greenville Enduro Riders Club that puts on this race, switching it up a little bit. They did a great job. Very similar trail to past years, but I can't complain. It was one of the best races I've done in a long time. A lot of fun. I know it might not sound like it's kind of late Monday night, making this video for you guys, trying to get out early. So race was yesterday, because today is March 1st, and it was the last day of February, that short month, February. There's a really tight spot here, so you can enjoy this. This is crazy. You might be impressed, hopefully, by my tree navigating. Did really good in this section. You can see at the start of the video to see what I scored. Can't remember exactly. I believe it was a 5. Yeah, I'm sure it was something like that. I'd have to go back and look. But compared to what you guys got, I know it wasn't the fastest out there, but not too shabby. Like I said, I'll tell you how I did in a little bit. In my class. There was a good bit of riders out there, 10 guys in my class. Really good little cut line there. I didn't take that. Probably would have if I had seen it better. Trying to get some of these guys out of the way. I mean, I'm pretty patient, but I have a certain tolerance. So they both stopped at the same time, just cut right through the middle. And like I said, we're getting close to the end here. This part's really fun. I mean, I don't mind it too bad, but it's not my favorite. You can see a lot of these tight trees where the bark is missing. You know, people have been whacking them, been hitting these trees a lot. But I did pretty good. Don't want to harp on it too much, but got to give myself a pat on the back for a solid finish. So yeah, you can see we're on 66, and I was started on 61, so that means I dropped to 5. And these guys slacking a little bit on the score riding, but it's okay. Alright, here we go into section 5. You can see I dropped to 6. You got David Eckert there helping out the scoring. Shout out David Eckert. So taking off hot and heavy right into this section. Last section of the day, so you know I'll be pushing hard, trying to finish strong. Sometimes every second counts in these races. So a small mistake or not going hard enough, you have maybe a little bit of unmatched potential, or what you call unlocked potential. Tragedy. Gas hose coming out of the top clamp there. It was bothering me a little bit. That's why I tried to put it back in. But it did not last too long. I think it came out almost instantly. Can't remember, but mostly rode this whole section with it hanging out. It's all good. Some guy here on a gas on my row, ripping it pretty good. And if you're watching this video, buddy, appreciate the compliment. He was telling me how quick I was riding. Made me feel pretty good about myself. So picking it up a little bit here. Like I said, trying to get a really good score in the last section. This section was pretty fun. It was a little more whooped out, and when I say whoop, what I mean is like these kind of larger humps in the trail that you have to roll over or try to jump or wheelie or skim based on your skill level. It does take a lot of energy, and you have to be careful to not lose kind of your direction so you don't fly into some trees. And check this out right here. Super sketchy. Here it comes. Close your eyes. Open them. Whoa, that was... Yeah, you might want to rewind that and go check that out again. I might tag that in the comments. that was some crazy stuff right there, so don't do that. You might die. So we're about halfway through this video. If you made it this far, you are a GOAT. I appreciate the support. People like you are the reason why I'm making these commentaries, because it's not the easiest thing, but we're out here. I haven't done it in a few rides, few GoPros, haven't done any commentary, but I was talking to my brother and he was like, dude, your videos are kind of boring. You need to juice it up a little bit. You need to get back to doing the voiceovers again. So I was like, all right, and here we are. I don't even know if I'm going to do this whole 40 minutes. If I do this whole 40 minutes, I need to get something. I don't even know. Y'all gotta give me a like or something. If I'm still talking at the end of this video, you gotta leave a like for me. I don't really ask for stuff like that, but that would be cool. This section's pretty long. It definitely took it out of me. By the end of this section, I was clapped. And when I say clapped, I was ready to, go to bed. Go sleepy time, because this thing, it's like getting sucker punched by the rock. But honestly, I was at the reset before this section, and I was like, I feel better riding the bike than I do sitting around after, at this point in the day. Like, let me just keep going. I don't want to sit around for 15 minutes doing nothing. The bike's all hot and I'm all dehydrated. I did bring some food. Keith Mitchell, the GOAT, always telling me that I need to be eating after every section. He gave me a part of a Snickers bar at the Se&Tra National Enduro. I appreciate it. That helped me out a little bit. So I had some RX bars in my bag today, chewing on them here and there, keeping me fueled. The gas stop was after the second section, which was kind of crazy. I didn't even think it was the gas stop, but luckily I did fill up my tank, and I didn't have much time, but I got done what I needed to do. I didn't eat a lot of food and I didn't drink a lot, but we made it through. We put in a really good performance. All my sections were really strong except for my second section. Just wasn't feeling it in that one. First and second section I was definitely riding pretty tight. But by this time of the day I was in my groove. So you can see me whipping through the trees. Don't know what the heck's going on right here. A bunch of dudes just chilling. But it's all good. These guys, everybody out here deserves to be out here having a good time. We all paid our money, so if you see that log right there that just went by and you wheelied over that log, leave a comment. If you wheelied that log, let me know, because I thought about it, but I'm like, yeah, only the big ballers are gonna do that, and I'm not a big baller, so I didn't do that. But if you did, let me know. And if you know who this guy is right in front of me, let me know as well. Leave it in the comments. Leave me his nickname. If you know this guy's nickname right here, leave it in the comments. So I come by and I had to show him how to do it. He didn't want that smoke. You can see how quick I'm going right now. I'm just ripping it. Had to hold it wide open so he knew what's up. Even when it's tight, don't slow down. So you can tell I was feeling pretty good in here. Obviously was pretty tired, but just hanging on for dear life, juiced up on adrenaline. I'm sure some of you racers know, that feeling that you get towards the end of the race when you're pretty drained, but you know that you're riding good, and you got the adrenaline, and you got the kind of the mental thing going, and just feels like things get a little tingly, and I don't even know what I'm saying, but you just like you're running on fumes, but you're ripping it. Just a crazy feeling that you can't recreate without doing something like this. But this was a lot of fun. And if you made it this far into the video, we're about almost 30 minutes into the video now. I have to mention, I know only the true Texas Pete 21 supporters are watching at this point. That's why I bring it up now. I know my girlfriend Ashley is watching this video. Shout out to Ashley for being very supportive. She's really been doing everything she can to make sure she's at as much races as possible. I didn't think she was going to get to go to the Sandlapper, but she did, and it was awesome. She was out at some of the resets, driving around, making sure I was okay. Appreciate the support, babe. And she was helping me out, always helping me out beforehand, getting me mentally right for the race. My brother tells me happy riders are fast riders, so guess that's why you might say I did pretty good. And I know I brought it up earlier. Maybe now's a good time to release the secret information. Well, it's not secret. I mean, you can look on the results, and if you check that out, I just like tripled through those whoops right there, so that was pretty cool. Really over that log right there. But I raced 250A today. I might have that in the title. I do not know. Haven't uploaded this video yet, so these words are pre-upload. But 250A class, and we got second in 250A out of 10 guys. Third place, Josh McCoy. Shout out to Josh McCoy. What a great racer. Running the Yamaha 250 two-stroke, I think it is. And he rode really well. Good job, Josh. Just barely beat Josh. Let's see who else is in 250A class today. Oh, and I look up and see that I'm on the ground. Gotta love it. It happens to the best of us. So if you're wondering what happened, I don't think my front wheel just kind of went over the berm a little bit. Something like that, lost my balance. It's all good. Slowed me down for a second, but I'll regroup, drink a little water, get back on the train, on the Yamaha train. So yeah, first place in the class, who absolutely demolished me, Gavin Sievenpiper. So if you know Gavin Sievenpiper, I think it's Sievenpiper. He's a beast from Georgia. Good job, Gavin. He beat me in every section by a few minutes, few minutes to say the least. And Josh, like I said, then third. Then we got fourth, Darren Bigley. Fifth, Jacob Kentz. I don't know who Darren is. Jacob from Florence. Great racer, great guy. Shout out to Jacob. Hopefully he's watching this video. Good to see you, man. And sixth place, TJ Weber. TJ, always a pleasure. He lives in Charleston. And very nice guy, great family, beautiful wife and kid, and a couple dogs. TJ's always putting a smile on everybody's face. And Very nice guy with his hospitality. So he was on row 28 on his Husky. Looked like he brought one of his dogs out to the race, so that was cool. And TJ's dad was also out there racing in my dad's class, 50B, 50 plus B. They had a good little competition, finished within a couple minutes or so of each other, I think 1 minute apart. And we got 7th place Alexander Ashworth, 8th Benjamin Wacha, and 9 Nicholas Poston. In 10th place, also Steve Mason Jr. Don't know who any of those guys are, but if you're watching this video, awesome. It's good having you in the class. Don't know what else to say. Some of you guys are on the Yamaha. If you're on a Yamaha, you're already family. Josh McCoy, Alexander, Benjamin, and Steve on Yamahas. So Blue Crew for the win. If y'all look at the overall results from this race, there was a lot of KTMs. Just a flood of KTMs. So if you've known me for a while, you know that I raced a KTM for a long time, and don't do what I do. I just took a terrible line going wide on those loops. But yeah, raced a KTM for a long time, and officially been on the Yamaha since October, and we are in March now, so that's about 5 months. Haven't done a whole lot of races on the bike, but I really like this Yamaha. I mean, I sold all my KTM stuff. I still have a Mako clamp for the KTM. If you want to hit me up, because I don't want to really go back to the KTM now. Started spending some money on the Yamaha, and that was sketchy right there. Go back and check that one out again. Almost hit those trees. But yeah, the Yamaha, I got the big tank for it now. Probably wouldn't have finished this race. Probably would have ran out of gas if it wasn't for this big tank, because I had to go 3 sections. Actually, I mean, I probably would have been fine, honestly. And I think towards the end of the video, you'll see a lot of guys on the side of the trail. Seems like they ran out of gas too. Something like that. Just flying over this bridge. Whatever. And check this out. I know I was talking about Ashley earlier. That's my girl. She's up here on the top in the Jeep. Up there filming somewhere. She's driving her red Jeep around. You know, she loved that little red Jeep. Or should I say big red Jeep with the soft top, popping that top off. You know, wind blowing hair back. Playing some music, whatever she wants, you know, do what I want. That's the style. So shout out Ashley once again. Go check her out. Check out my Instagrams. You'll see her on there. Whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? But getting closer to the end of the section, probably within the last few miles. There's still some good stuff coming, so stick around in this video. But it is getting pretty late for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit the clock out. But feel free to keep watching. At the end of this video, you'll see my Instagram, so go check me out on Instagram. Subscribe my YouTube if you want to. You know, might give you a hug or something if you want. No homo. If you're a girl, you can't hug me. I'm sorry, I'm off the market, according to my girlfriend. And I agree, you know, because I'm a good guy. Yeah. So I appreciate you. Stick around. We got some hair scrambles coming. We got some more races coming. I don't know if I'll be making any vlogs. That's not as much of my style. I made one from the Carolina XC race. Hope you guys liked that one. It didn't get as much love as some of these types of GoPros, but I had a good time making it. For those who know, you know, I did have a good time making that one. Not making the video, but filming the video. Yeah. So once again, shout out to the crew behind the Sandlapper Enduro, 46th annual Sandlapper Enduro. It was awesome, always a pleasure. Don't want to miss this one. You guys should hit it next time if you haven't raced here before. It's definitely worth it. It's in Sally, South Carolina. It's not too far from Charlotte, where I live. Or if you're somewhere South Carolina, Georgia. There was guys from all over, Virginia, maybe even guys from North, New Jersey, New York, who knows. So they all love it. You see just a war zone of bikes out here, probably all out of gas. Like I said, I'm going to head out. You guys stay tuned and enjoy.